There are people listening right now who are years post-op, dealing with regain and terrified to admit it out loud. Today, we're talking about the part of the bariatric journey no one prepares you for. What happens when the honeymoon ends? Because it definitely will. So today, our guest is Allyson Jackson, a bariatric coach and long-term gastric sleeve patient who is over a decade post-op. So she's a pro now. She specializes in helping women, especially those over the age of 40, to navigate weight regain after the honeymoon phase by rebuilding simple structure, consistency, and confidence without shame. Allyson brings both lived experience and coaching experience to a phase of the bariatric journey that's often ignored but deeply needed. So I am so excited to really have some deep conversations, especially for me. I'm at my 2 years, so my honeymoon stage is slowly dwindling. So thank you so much, Allyson. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm super happy to be here.
Welcome back to Bariatric Paths, where we have real conversations about weight loss, the bariatric journey, and the mindset shifts that come with it. If you're new here, I'm Jatoyia, and this space is for people navigating any weight loss journey in real life. Let's get into today's episode. Okay, so everyone hears about the surgery and the weight loss, but almost no one talks about what happens years later when the honeymoon phase is over and it's really, really hard. So let's start there. When did you personally realize your honeymoon phase was over?
So the honeymoon phase doesn't really happen like with a bang. It happens over time. It drifts. Your hunger slowly increases. Your portions, they get bigger. Your structure, the way you move through your day, it changes. Your life gets busier. You're less focused because you're like, oh, I got this. So I don't know that I ever really noticed it day to day. It was sort of a gradual happening. Um, I think it was more about that shift and it caught me off guard. And then I had to wake up and say, oh, I got to really pay attention to what I'm doing. So I don't know that there was a specific moment when I looked at myself and was like, oh, but it just happens gradually over time.
I know for me, I start noticing it just about my portion control
Yeah.
because I still measure and have the little half a cup, but
Yeah.
at first it was just like a few bites and I couldn't bear it. Now I eat the half a cup and I'm like,
Now what?
it's gone. Like I actually finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It hits hard though because you don't expect it. Nobody really talks to you about it, but that's
Mhm.
a huge part of it. They just tell you what's going to happen when you go home and for the next 4 weeks or 6 weeks.
Mhm.
And then you're sort of left like, what do I do now? So,
Mhm.
so yeah, I tell people honeymoon ending,
Mhm.
it's not a failure.
And it's
It's
not
now the beginning of you owning your own journey at that point.
Because it's like some days you'll be able to eat more, some days you'll be able to eat less. And it's like it's a
Yes.
bounce up and down, up and down. And then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, okay, this is my new normal.
Yeah. And truthfully, even today that happens to me. Some days I eat breakfast and I'm like, oh, I'm so full. And then other days I'm like, oh my God, I just give me more, give me more. So it's just, I don't know, it's our bodies, they just respond differently.
And learning your cues. Like, are
Yeah.
you really hungry or is this a stressed out moment?
Yes, absolutely.
So what do most bariatric patients not expect once they're several years out? We talked about the honeymoon phase. So what else can
Mhm.
it's like you hear a lot from your patients of things that they're surprised about.
I think people are surprised that you are now the owner of all of this process that you have to take on. right? So in the beginning, you have these like guardrails and they prevent you from being able to overeat. Like you're either going to throw it up. I thankfully never had that happen, but there are people that do get very sick because they overeat. So you have these very strong guardrails. And then over time,
Mhm.
those guardrails go away and you're forced to be in charge of what happens, right? So your hunger signals they change, your portions get bigger, your daily habits they change. This long-term phase, it's less about your surgery, but more about teaching yourself sustainable behavior. So that shift sometimes is really difficult. People get kind of
Mm.
sideswiped with it and they don't know how to handle it because they weren't given those tools. So it changes your anatomy, but it doesn't change your decision making, and your long-term success really does live in those decisions, right? Because then you wind up many, many years later in
Mhm.
a different predicament. So, yeah.
Yeah, and one thing that I find is a lot of times people don't address like, "Oh, I need to look at my lifestyle habits,"
Yes.
until the honeymoon phase is over. They've just been banking on their body automatically losing weight, and they're just enjoying that so that when it stops, now they're panicking, "Oh my gosh, I'm not losing anymore. What do I need to do?" And then they start looking at lifestyle changes, but at that point, it's kinda like you're already a little bit behind the ball, and now you're trying to play catch up, and it's mentally you're like panicking almost because it was so easy for so
That's
long. And
right.
for a lot of people, this is the first time they've lost a lot of weight like this.
Ever. Right, because most of us, we go into surgery like, I've been heavy for much of my life, in many cases, not all, and this is gonna fix
Mhm.
me. But when they do all this
Mhm.
psychological evaluation, that's like 45 minutes of your life, they never talk to you about
If that.
making right. Never talk to you about making emotional changes and your relationship with food and how you balance your life with the way that you eat, because eating is such a huge part of all of cultural, right? Culturally, like in my family, we eat when we see
Mhm.
each other. Like when somebody has a baby, you eat. When somebody dies, you
Mhm.
eat. When somebody celebrate, you
Mhm.
eat. It's part of our lives. And so if you're not taught how
Mhm.
to regulate that, then you spiral. And then you get fearful and either you don't eat, and that's not good either, right? Because you're afraid to touch anything. Like, oh my
No.
God. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's a double-edged sword in some ways.
Mhm. Why does regain feel so emotionally heavy after surgery? Before surgery, I gained 20 pounds and I was just like, I gained 20 pounds. Like, oh well. Now let me go up 5 pounds. I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get back into it. Got to go to the gym twice a day.
Yes.
It's so much triggering now. Why is that?
Yeah. And it's funny you say that about the, "Oh my god, I have to," like, the thought process, right? So, I think that regain feels so much more emotionally heavy after the surgery because you have now put expectations on yourself. The surgery was gonna
Mm,
fix me, right? And when it's not fixing you anymore, then you're going to start feeling like you failed, right? Or you're having this fear of disappointing people. It's tied to you having this success story and being able to prove, look, this fixed me, right? But when the weight
mhm,
starts to come back, it doesn't just feel like pounds. It feels like all those things I just said, fear, disappointment, shame, which I hate using that word. But it's, yeah, you want to be able to say, I did it. Look, I did it. And if you start regaining, then people are going to start looking at you. Oh, look at her. She had the surgery, and I've watched it. I've watched people go through it, myself included.
mhm,
Friends, I had a girlfriend who she went from 400 pounds to 180 pounds. And
Oh,
then it
wow.
started going up, 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 and she was about 260, 270, and, it was harder for her to move around, the whole thing. You go through a lot of emotion differently because your expectations of yourself become different. That's
Yeah, I know for me, I was at 387, I got all the way down to 212, and then it was like and even my husband was just like, "Okay, stop, like, you're getting too small," 'cause I'm 5'9", so
oh,
212 really did look
yeah.
it looked a little different on me.
Especially because it
So
happened so fast,
and it
right?
happened so fast, and he
Yeah.
was just like, "Literally, when I come home, you're looking like a different person every time I come home."
Yes.
And so I knew that I was like, "Okay, like, I'm probably" and I always hear people say, "You're gonna go down to your lowest, and then you might" so I knew it was coming, and I
Yeah.
did but my thing, it was just like, I didn't know how much, and I was scared that once it starts coming back, I will be able to stop. So,
Mm,
like, it went from 212, then I was at 218, and then I went to 225, and I'm like, "Okay now, like, we're
yeah.
good." And
Yeah.
it was I finally plateaued back at, like, 230, and now I've been 230 for, like, 6, 7 months now, so I think that's the
Sweet
weight.
spot.
But
Yeah.
that little it was about yeah, about 4 months of going from 212 to 230 where it was mentally like I was stressed and no one understood because they were just like, "You look great, like,
Mhm.
you lost 170 pounds." Like, it's not that serious, but it was like, for me, it's just like, "Okay, yeah, but I don't want her to come back." The old me,
Right.
like,
I
it
left
seemed like
her.
she knocking on the door. Yeah, and I'm like, I thought I got rid of her, like
Mhm. We're not friends anymore. Like, we can be acquaintances, but we are not friends.
I had
Yeah.
a funeral for her. She died. She
Correct.
gone.
I'm with you, babe. I love that. I love that. Yes,
Like, RIP.
absolutely.
So, it
Right.
just gets very triggering. Like, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh."
And scary because you're like, "What am I doing wrong? What am I doing different? I gotta look in the mirror." And it becomes a cycle until you make the
Mhm.
decision to break that cycle, right? And
Mhm.
that's a whole other discussion that we're gonna have.
Yeah. I had to
Yeah.
get to the point where at the end of the day, I said, "Okay, did I meet my water goals? Did I meet my protein goals? Did I work out?" If I can say that confidently, my body is doing what it needs to do. Whether it's at
Okay.
212 or 230, it's doing what it needs to do.
Yeah.
Now, if it gets to 250, we gonna have to go to the I'm just joking. Gotta go get some GLP-1s.
I mean, listen, you do what you gotta do, girl. But I also think that it's not so much about the number, even though we are very number focused as people who
Mhm.
live our lives overweight. You get to a point where I don't even for myself today at this weight, I get on the scale every single day. And when I know
Yeah,
I'm not eating well,
I
I
avoid
don't
it.
get on the scale. Yes,
It's like,
exactly.
"I'll do it next week. I'll get on it next week."
Exactly, or I'll wait till, like, tomorrow or the next day after I drink a lot of water and stop eating sugar and all of the things, so
Mhm.
it's like a mind you know what? Yeah, it
Mhm.
really is because, we have to make it less about the scale and more about our health, more about making sure that we're
Mhm.
doing all the things that we know we need to do to sustain our health, right? Because
Mhm.
our health requirements at this stage of our lives after surgery are so very different than your husband and my husband and our girlfriend next door. Like, we have to do things differently and only we understand that. So I
Mhm.
try to make people less focused on the scale and more focused on doing exactly what you just said. I call them anchor habits, right? Anchor habits are
Mm.
what we need to make sure we meet those, even if it's one per day. You give yourself three, which is incredible. But even if you
I'm
meet
an
one per
overachiever.
day, well, I love that. Right? But even one per day, you're doing something right by yourself. And that's super
Mhm.
important. So, yeah, I think it's
What
important.
lies do you hear people tell themselves when that scale starts to creep up?
Oh, it's
I
never
blame
too
water. "Oh, I have it's water weight." That's what I tell myself.
totally. Absolutely, it's water weight, right? I'm gonna just drink. The one thing that I always thought was weird was, "You're telling me to drink so much water, but I'm carrying water, so, like, how does that happen? But later, of
Mhm.
course, I learned. I think people tell them, "Oh, it's no big deal. Oh, it's just, like you say, water weight," or, "I ate too much salt. I ate crackers. I ate potato chips," which you shouldn't be doing anyway, but just
Mhm.
saying.
Hey,
Um,
gotta love some Lays.
I mean, everybody's gotta get laid, right?
For real.
Uh,
Moments like this is why this podcast exists. So many people on a weight loss journey carry this quietly. If you want more conversation like this, subscribe and stay connected. Remember, your journey is yours. You're not alone. Let's jump back in.
um, and so I think people tell themselves those things in order to be able to justify what's going on, when really, if you wait too long, then the climb starts to happen, right? Or
Mhm.
the climb is bigger and we avoid. And so
Mm.
you can't really do that. You you need to keep yourself in check, I think. So we shouldn't be lying to ourselves, but people do it all the time because it it feels safe and justifiable,
Mhm.
right? I think. I know what to
Yeah.
do. I know how to fix it. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Everything's fine. I have a t-shirt that says that. I'm fine, everything's fine. When in actuality,
Yeah.
sometimes it's really not, you know? Yeah.
Do you find that how do I say this nicely? Do you find that those who haven't really made those lifestyle changes are the biggest bullshitters when it comes to lying to themselves?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and I love that you say it in that way because really we all spent our lives or a portion of our lives overweight and making excuses, right? I look fine. Like I was still cute at 260 pounds. I'm only 5 feet tall. So I'm a little
Mhm.
tiny person. And at 260 pounds, I was big. But I was still cute. I still had pretty hair. I still wore high heels and tight jeans and all the things. That doesn't justify what you could be setting yourself up for, right?
Mhm.
Health problems. I mean, I had very minor health problems, thankfully, but some people don't. Some people suffer
Mhm.
with a lot of real health issues. And so lying about gaining a couple of pounds or lying about being big or lying about why you're big. Well, I'm big bone. You're not big boned. We all got pretty much the same size bones, sweetheart.
Hey, I used that for a while.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
It's like, "Oh,
And
I have my mother's hips. I can't help
right. No,
it."
that's just your anatomy, but when you peel it all away, we're pretty much all the same. And so,
Mhm.
we do ourselves a disservice by doing it, even though we all do it, you know?
Mhm.
So, yeah, I do think we're all bullshitting ourselves for sure.
I mean, I had to, kind of deprogram myself because I was overweight for most of my life. And
Yeah.
so that I wasn't miserable, I got to that point. I was like, I'm a cute fat girl. Like I got the cute cheeks and I've
Yeah,
got the style and the attitude. So it was almost like when I started losing weight and I wasn't seeing that person anymore in the mirror, I was almost like, oh, like, am I still pretty? Like,
girlfriend.
am I gonna like this person? I like my chunky self. And now I'm just like, girl, I wish you would go back. Like it was never okay. I don't know why I was so happy. It was like delulu, but I had to get to that point to say like this was never okay. This was because I was the same way. I didn't have major health issues. It was just it got to the point where it hurt to stand really, really long. And it was like longer than 20 minutes. So it wasn't even like I never was like morbidly obese. So I felt like, well, that means my body can handle it and I'm good. I didn't
Right,
have like diabetes or heart disease. It was like my body likes
right.
the fat.
Yeah,
So
and
I
my
had to
husband
go in
likes
and like
me,
reconstruct all of that. Yeah. I was like, I
right?
got a husband, I got a man.
What else is it, right? And honestly, it's so funny that you say that because I'm still going through that right now because I lost, I lost the weight my very high level story, I started at around 260. After
Mm,
surgery, it got down to, I think I saw 149 for like 5 minutes. Then I sustained like 158 for like a long time. And then I went up to like 162. And I still like, I had my curves and I had my booty and I had all the things, my little, cute, chumpy cheeks. And when I made the decision to lose this last 50 pounds, because I got up to 172, and I was like, "Well, I looked at this picture and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm chubby. I look weird.
mhm,
Like, I don't like it." And so I chose to do this whole reset thing, which I lost 50 pounds. And I look at myself now and I'm like, "Oh, where's my booty and my cheeks? I look older,
mhm,
and my husband told me, "Oh, you're getting too skinny." Same thing. And then we question, did I do the right thing? Should I eat more? Should I gain weight? And then I'm like, "No, stupid. That's not what you want. You
mhm.
wanted this." I don't think when I was 12 I weighed what I weigh today, you know?
Exactly.
And so I accomplished it. And then you go back and forth. You go back and forth. Did I do the right thing? No, I love me. Wait, I miss my other me, right?
Mhm.
To all the points you just made. So it's a mind game. I don't like it. But I fight with her and I'm like, "No, girl, this is what you wanted. You got what you wanted and you're maintaining it. And now you
Mhm.
could spread this love to others,
Mm,
right?" That's the part I love.
exactly.
That's the real part I
Exactly.
love. Is sharing it with others, for sure.
And encouraging others. I love that part because it's
Yeah.
like I just feel like that's one part of the journey also. Yes, it's mental, very much mental, but community is so helpful. And not just your family and friends who've loved you all your life. Like being around and being able to interact with people who are dealing with the same thing and going through the same thing is priceless because no one ever understands how you are so happy when the doctor say you can start drinking out of straws.
Yeah. Yep.
You're just like, "Really? A straw?"
Right? It's like the silliest thing on earth, but it's important. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it just that connection. So, I love that
Yes,
for us. Yay us.
absolutely.
So,
Yay, us.
for so many post-op patients,
Yes,
regain doesn't just bring frustration, it brings that word that you say you don't like, which is shame. And
shame.
that
I don't.
shame often pushes people into silence or into the "I just need to start over" phase. We're going back to liquid the liquid diet. God help me, I
Mhm.
hate when I hear that.
Yes.
So, from your experience, how does shame show up with your clients when regain happens? What does that look like?
Well, I think that people interpret regain as like a personal failure, right? Instead
Mm,
of like a normal part of needing support and asking. Just like they do feel shame. They do um feel like I need to be able to fix this on my own. And they have fear of judgment. They have fear of judgment from their friends, their doctors, their people that did support them through this process. And so, um, if they don't ask for the help early on, which many people don't, right? Like you're saying, they suffer in silence. Um, I think people wind up stuck longer than they should be. Because if you had just
mm,
come out and said, like, "Oh, I'm not comfortable with what's going on. I need help," somebody would have stepped up and helped you, whether it would have been your best
mhm,
girlfriend or a boyfriend, whatever, or you went to your doctor and said, "I'm struggling. I need some help." And they helped you right away. You would have brought it, reeled it all back in quicker and
mm.
not had to now fight a bigger battle. So I just feel like back to my original sentence or comment is that I think people interpret it as failure, and people don't like to be failures. People don't like to be looked at as failures. So,
Yeah, because in my warped brain, I feel like the surgery was my second chance. It was my gift. And regain is me spitting that second chance in the face. So
Yeah.
I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm blowing it. Like this is my one chance to get back to who I never got to be, who I always wanted to be. And I'm blowing it. And so it's like you don't want to ask for help because then it's like you're admitting that you're blowing this opportunity and you don't want people to be like, you got the surgery. Like, what you mean?
Yeah.
You just all of that perception. So you just try to like, I gotta get it together myself because it's like I don't have the surgery. I done got cut. I can't get cut again. I don't have the money to get cut again. Like, so you're just trying to like battle with yourself on that aspect that is really hard to say, I need help because you're mad at yourself throughout the whole process.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like a vicious cycle that we put ourselves through unnecessarily, right? If you
Mhm.
just reach out and take action.
Why do you think when regain happens, we get that all or nothing response? So, no, oh my gosh, I've gained 5 pounds. I'm going to fast for the next 3 days and not have anything but water and crackers. Like, why do we just go so severe when we see that regain happen when it's never worked? It never worked before the surgery or after the surgery,
Ever.
but yet for some reason, we are now doing a watermelon diet to get rid of those 10 pounds that showed up out of nowhere.
Um, I think I think that most of us were chronic dieters after we had surgery. And so that thinking doesn't just go away when they cut your stomach
Mm,
smaller, right? When the scale goes up, then we become extreme. Cut everything, that's going to fix us, right? But that's not the fix. That's not going to do it. You need sustainable changes to happen. Little, small changes, one at a time. They become learned habits again, right?
mm,
If you go
mhm,
extreme, nothing extreme is ever good, right? Nothing
mhm.
extreme is ever good. So I think working on sustainable habits one day at a time, or one habit at a time, I should say. Do that
Mhm.
cycle, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. It will become a new habit. Just like the extreme became a habit because that's what we knew, right? Um,
Yeah.
you gotta it's another reprogramming of your motherboard up in there, right? That's what it
Yeah.
winds up
Because
being.
most people, the surgery is not the first or the second or the third thing that you've done to lose weight.
No.
We have gone through some trends. We have done some diet fasts. We have done Weight Watchers, then Jenny Craig, then back to Weight Watchers because they had a sale for the New Year's. Like all
Yes!
of that has happened over years.
And
And so I get what you're saying. It's like, that's our response when we try to fix ourselves is to find the next trend and
yeah.
get back to trying to losing it.
Do you remember those stacker pills? Did you ever
Yeah.
I
I
took those
remember that.
pills, and they make you
I
feel
wasn't
like
old
you're.
enough, but I needed them.
Yeah, I was old enough. And I took them, and they gave me the jitters, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't do this. I gotta think of another way." Yes, I've done the Weight Watchers. I did, LA Weight Loss. I did, Medi Weight Loss. I've done all the yeah.
I've been
Uh
keto. I've been
oh, keto, for sure. Keto, fasting, and I
fasting the
don't think
Daniel
fasting is
fast.
yeah, all the things. So, it's really about retraining your brain that this is not a sustainable way to live. It's not
Mhm.
in any part of your life, not just this part, but specifically this. If you don't make new habits, you will never continue to do those habits, right?
Mhm.
Like going to the gym, when you talk about going to the gym, I personally struggle with that. Exercise. Exercise is my
Mhm.
downfall.
Mhm.
I don't love exercise. I try to do it. Not the best, but
Mhm.
going somewhere to do that exercise because people are like, "Oh, do it on the computer. You could do it in your living room or your whatever."
That's what I
No,
do. I'm YouTube.
and
And that's because I have kids, so that's the only way I can get it in. I don't have time to go to
yes,
the gym.
and
So I
all the
get up
power to
early
you.
and do it on get up early and turn on YouTube and do a video.
And
But
it's
yeah,
awesome if you can train, but you trained yourself to do that, right?
yeah,
It
it's part of
became
my
part of your
daily
routine,
routine.
and
Yeah.
so
So when I don't do it, I feel so bad. I'll be like, oh my gosh,
right.
y'all. I was supposed to get up today.
Yeah, and that just speaks to exactly what I just said, right? Because making new habits for yourself and training your brain that this is my new normal is
Hmm.
what's going to help you sustain your new way of thinking, if that's what you want to do, right?
How does that go about also with like that thinking of, okay, Monday? I'm gonna start over
No
on Monday.
Monday. Why not
Monday
now?
never comes.
Right. That you just answered your question, right? Because the Monday may never come if you don't push yourself. Like if you eat bad right now, like I don't have anything to eat here, but if you eat, I have goldfish in my kitchen right now that I bought yesterday. That is terrible. I told my husband, "Can you just eat these? Because either that or they're going to go in the garbage." But if I decide that I'm gonna just go eat the rest of the bag, what does that do? Nothing. But if I make the conscious decision that my next food choice is going to be the good food choice, I've now started myself on that habit forming, sustainable path of making changes to what I do every day. So
Mhm.
starting Monday, yeah, you can start Monday if you're going to start Monday, but why wait? If you have a goal, if you have a goal to feel better in your own body, why wait until Monday? Doesn't seem
That
fair to yourself, right?
Yeah, that makes complete sense. This episode may end here, but the journey doesn't. Parallel Paths is the Bariatric Paths membership for people who want continued support, real conversations, and connection beyond the podcast. If that sounds like what you need right now, go to www.bariatricpaths.com and see if the community feels like the next right step for you. Remember, your journey is yours, but you are not alone. Go out there and crush it. Bye. This podcast is for support and inspiration only. It is not medical advice. Always talk to your doctor or care team about what's right for you.